Namo Buddhai, Namo Dhammai, Namo Sanghai. I welcome you all on Dhamma USA platform with our sixth Abhidhamma class. We have already completed our 5 Abhidhamma classes, which you can find on Dhamma USA. Today, we are going to learn in the sixth Dhamma class, Abhidhamma class, with the respect to the Triple Gems. First of all, I would like to pay my respect to Triple Gems, to Sammasambuddha, his precious Dhamma, and his noble Sangha. I pay respect to my teachers and also to Bhante Sumita, who gave me this wonderful opportunity to share Dhamma with all of you. So today we are going to learn a different topic, which may be not from Chitta, Chetasik and Rupa, of course. As we have studied that in Abhidhamma, we study about Chitta, Chetasika and Rupa. This topic today, what we are going to learn, this topic is somewhere related to Chitta, Chetasika and Rupa, but it will help you to understand them better. So today we are going to learn a very new topic, which is Nama and Rupa. So I'm going to share the screen with you so that it will help you to understand better. Okay. So today, our first topic is Nama and Rupa in Abhidhamma. Why do we need to learn Nama Rupa? And what does it mean? There are a lot of questions which arises. So today we are going to clear every question that arises in your mind about Nama and Rupa. You may have heard Nama and Rupa many times while chanting or maybe in dependent origination. When we recite the dependent origination or Paticca Samuppada, there is Avijja Pachaya Sankhara, Sankhara Pachaya Vinyanam, Vinyana Pachaya Nama Rupam, Nama Rupa Pachaya Salayatanam, Salayatana Pachaya Phasa, and Phasa Pachaya Vedana, Vedana Pachaya Tanha, Tanha Pachaya Upadana. So, Upadana Pachaya Bhava and Bhava Pachaya Jati and Jati Pachaya Jaradukha. So, whatever Jara Maranam, sorry. So, whatever we are reciting in Paticca Samuppada independent origination, there comes in the fourth, in the chain, on the fourth number, Avijja Pachaya Sankhara and Sankhara Pachaya Vinyana, Vinyana Pachaya Nama Rupa. So you see there is Nama Rupa in Paticca Samuppada. But what does it mean? So today we are going to learn, but first we will start with the Devarona, Devaradhana. We will invite all the Devas to come to listen to the Buddha's Dhamma. Samanta Chakvalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Sadhamma Munirajas Sunantu Sabdamokadam Dhamma Savane Kalu Ayam Badanta Dhamma Savane Kalu Ayam Badanta धम्मसवने कालो अयं भदन्तः नमो तस्य भगवतो अर्हतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य नमो तस्य भगवतो अर्हतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य नमो तस्य भगवतो अर्हतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य. We will recite 12 Akusala Chitta. सोमनससहगतं दिट्ठिगता सम्पयुक्तम् असङ्खारिकं कामवचरात् अकुशललोभमूलचित्तम् सोमनससहगतं दिट्ठिगता सम्पयुक्तम् ससंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशललोभमूलचित्तम् सोमनससहगतं दिट्ठिगतं विपयुक्तम् असंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशललोभमूलचित्तम् सोमनससहगतं दिट्ठिगतं विपयुक्तम् ससंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशललोभमूलचित्तम् उपेक्षा सहगतं दिट्ठिगतं सम्पयुक्तम् असंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशललोभमूलचित्तम् उपेक्षा सहगतं दिट्ठिगतं सम्पयुक्तम् ससंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशललोभमूलचित्तम् उपेक्षा सहगतं दिट्ठिगतं विपयुक्तम् असंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशललोभमूलचित्तम् उपेक्षा सहगतं दिट्ठिगतं विपयुक्तम् ससंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशललोभमूलचित्तम् दोमनससहगतं पटिघा सम्पयुक्तम् असंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशलदोषमूलचित्तम् दोमनससहगतं पटिघा सम्पयुक्तम् ससंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशलदोषमूलचित्तम् उपेक्षा सहगतं विचिकित्सा सम्पयुक्तम् असंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशलमोहमूलचित्तम् उपेक्षा सहगतं उदच सम्पयुक्तम् असंखारिकं कामवचरम् अकुशलमोहमूलचित्तम् साधु Sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so when we start studying about the Nama Rupa, the first question arises, why to study Nama Rupa? Nama Rupa can also be called as Khanda or Pancha Khanda. What are these khandas? What are the Nama Rupa? We will study it. But what Buddha says about that, about Nama Rupa, Buddha says, as long as we are still clinging to the khandas, we are like sick people. But we can be cured of our sickness if we see the khandas as they are. The khandas are impermanent and thus they are dukkha or suffering. You see, uh, we have the khandas, we have the five khandas or namarupa. But when we are clinging to this namarupa, actually everybody, every person in the world is clinging to namarupa, to the khandas. And whenever we are like, as long as we are still clinging with the namarupa, with the khanda, we are like sick people. But we need to cure this sickness. We need to know the reason of our sickness, and then we need to know how to cure our sickness. For that, we need to understand what the khandas are. We need to see as they are. They are impermanent, and whatever in the world is impermanent, they are dukkha or suffering. So Buddha further says, Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths to the monks. He said, monks, I will teach you the dukkha. Dukkha here is suffering, the arising of suffering, the ceasing of suffering, the way leading to the ceasing of suffering. And what monks is suffering? It is to be called the five khandas of grasping. What five? You see, Buddha says that these five khandas or namarupa, actually they are suffering. And we all are studying the Buddha's teaching to eradicate our suffering, right? So first we need to know what are our sufferings, and then only we can find a way to eradicate or maybe gradually controlling the suffering and then eradicating the suffering at a level. So first of all, we need to know what is suffering. So Buddha says, actually, if we say there are many types of suffering, but if we get a conclusion of all the suffering, then only these five khandas of grasping are suffering actually. So what are these five khandas? The first is the Rupa Khanda of grasping. The second is the Vedana Khanda of grasping. The third is the Sanya Khanda of grasping. The fourth is the Sankhara Khanda of grasping. And the last one is the Vijnana Khanda of grasping. So these are the Pali word actually. Let me tell you the meaning in English also. First is the Rupa Khanda. Rupa is our body, is the material form or of anything in the world. Whatever we see the materiality, that is Rupa. But here we are talking about our body because it is also like a material, right? So the first is Rupa. Everybody, we know that we are very much cling to our body. So the first is the Rupa Khanda. The second is the Vedana Khanda. Vedana is the feeling. We have pleasurable feelings, we have unpleasurable feelings. So whatever the feelings we have, or we may have neutral feelings as well sometimes. So whatever the feelings we have, that is Vedana Khanda. The third is Sanya Khanda. Sanya is perception. Whatever you have learned in the past, or whatever you have seen, whatever you have heard, whatever you have tasted or smell, or maybe touch, like whatever you have accumulated in the past, maybe many years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. but you still remember that. That is Sanya Khanda. It means we are still clinging to those things which has already happened in the past. So that is Sanya Khanda, the perception. The fourth is the Sankhara Khanda. Sankhara is, this is not same as Sankhara in Paticca Samuppada, independent origination. Actually, Sankhara here is Chetasika or mental factors. And the Vijnana Khanda. Vijnana is the consciousness. So you see, we all are in the world are clinging to these five khandas, and Buddha says that these five khandas are actually dukkha or sufferings. So we need to know how to eradicate these sufferings. So first we will study about these five khandas in detail, because when we combine them, we will find out that nama rupa or five khandas is nothing but chitta, chetasika, and rupa only. So this marks is called dukkha. As long as there is still clinging to the khandas, there will be the arising of khandas in rebirth, and this means sorrow. So you need to remember the five names to, because we are going to understand them better. So we need to know the names. The first is Rupa Khanda, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. So you need to learn these five. So I'm not sure whether you have studied about the Tilakhana. Tilakhana is Anatta Dukha Anatta, Anicca Dukha Anatta. Anatta is actually no soul. There are many religions who believe in soul, but Buddha taught us that there is no soul, because he realized that, he experienced that. Buddha never say anything out of his experience. So he experiences that there is no soul in our body actually. So the doctrine of anatta is no soul, is the natural result, the analysis of five aggregate. How did Buddha realizes that there is no soul, or there is anatta? Buddha realizes that there is no soul only after the analyzing of these five aggregates or five khandas. When Buddha realizes that five khandas and also the paticca samutpada, after his realization only, he came to know that there is no soul. Whatever the people are clinging to, it is not soul. It is actually the five aggregates, the five khandhas, pancha khandhas, or namarupa, we can say. So these are the five khandhas or panchaskandhas to which people are clinging to, and people are maybe taking it in a wrong way, like a soul. People are taking it as a soul. So actually, there is no soul. So whenever we try to understand these Panchaskandhas better, we will also realize, because now there are many teachings of the Buddhas. When we heard them, we believe them because we believe in Buddha, right? We believe whatever he has taught us, whatever the Buddha has taught us, he taught us when he experienced that himself, right? After he experienced that himself, he never taught us anything, what he has not experienced. So Buddha taught us no soul also. So we believe that there is no soul. Even for me also, I believe that there is no soul, but I have not experienced that. How we can experience that? When we analyze these panchaskandhas in ourselves, when we analyze these five aggregates in ourselves, then only we will know actually there is no soul in the world, in the human body. There is only the five aggregates to which the person are clinging to. So we will further learn about the anatta also. So Buddha says all phenomena or dhammas are without self. When one sees this with insight wisdom, one becomes weary of dukkha. This is the path to purity. So you see, actually, whatever the dhammas, whatever happening to us, it is without self. There is no self. There is no soul. There is no me actually. And we are only listening that, we are only reading that in books, but we are not experiencing that, right? When we will start experiencing that with insight wisdom, then only we will be able to get rid of our dukkha or our suffering. And this is the path to purity. So you see how important it is to learn the five aggregates because only when we will realize the five aggregates, then only we will be able to realize that there is no soul, there is anatta actually. Buddha further says for anatta, the Buddha's teaching does not support this ignorance, weakness, fear, and desire, but aims at making man enlightened by removing and destroying the ignorance and desire. The Buddha realized that the idea of self is so deep rooted, and not many people are willing to hear any teaching against them. We know that, right? In today's world, also, if we see that there are many people, when we teach them about the suffering, when we teach them that there is no soul, there is, when you realize the five aggregates, then only you will be able to eradicate your sufferings. There are many people, I would say most of the people, they are not willing to hear any teaching against them because they love themselves, right? They love their body, they love their beauty, they love their hair, they love their skin. So, whatever the people, whoever loves his body externally, and they don't want to learn what is inside, what is because this body is not mine, it is impermanent. But people, most of the people, they don't want to hear anything against their body, their beautiful body, so Buddha knew that at Buddha's time also there were many people at Buddha's time also who were so deep rooted in themselves that they were not willing to hear any teaching against their beauty. So, 4 weeks after his enlightenment, we know that Buddha spent 7 weeks after his enlightenment near the Bodhi tree, under which he got the enlightened. He got enlightened. So, Buddha spent 7 weeks there around that tree. So, in the fourth week, 4 weeks after his enlightenment, Buddha thought to himself, I have realized this truth, which is deep, difficult to see, difficult to understand, comprehensible only by the wise. Men who are overpowered by passions and surrounded by a mass of darkness cannot see this truth, which is against the current, which is lofty, deep, subtle, and hard to comprehend. So Buddha knew that maybe many of you also uh, joining here with me, but maybe some of you are not able to understand what I am trying to say or what I am teaching because these are the Buddha's word. Actually, in the beginning, if I tell you personally, even in the beginning, when I started learning Abhidhamma, it was not easy for me as well. It was difficult. I could have given up, at that time that I don't want to learn, but I made efforts to learn. I put a lot of efforts in learning Abhidhamma, and gradually I started learning and I started understanding. So and also I got a gold medal also in Abhidhamma philosophy in my master's degree from India. So you see, you are it is just a beginning for you to learn Abhidhamma. We are not going too far, we are not going too deep, we are not going too fast also. I am teaching you very slowly, and gradually we will increase day by day and class by class, and then only we will go deep inside. But whatever you are learning now, maybe for some of you it may be difficult to understand even now, but I would suggest you Just keep trying, because whatever you are listening, even a small portion of Dhamma, if you are listening, that is good for you, because you are accumulating some merits in your chitta, which will help you to get rid of this samsara. Not only this life, maybe not in this life, but maybe in some other next life. So keep trying, don't give up. So Buddha saw that there are many people, even at that time also, even in the Buddha's time also, there were many people whom the Buddha's teaching were too deep and difficult to understand and difficult to see. Buddha saw that it can be comprehended only by the wise. So we have to become the wise. Buddha then taught about the anatta, because at that time also people used to believe about in the soul, in self. But Buddha started teaching. There were chances that Buddha could have like stopped teaching maybe, or not teaching anything to the people and remain silent for his life, full of his life. So, but Buddha started teaching Dhamma to the people, because Buddha saw that there are many people who can understand his teaching better. He did not stop, he did not remain silent, but he started teaching to the people. And there were many people who understood his teaching. So we are also here to understand Buddha's teaching. Maybe we also, today also, we are, some of us, like many people joining here, maybe some of you have ignorance about your body, about self, or about soul. But we need to understand actually there is no soul. But how we can understand there is no soul? Only when we analyze the five aggregates or Panchaskandha or Namarupa or Paticha Samutpada. So there are two things which you need to understand deeply to realize or to experience the theory of no soul or anatta. So what is the meaning of skandha? Actually, we are studying about Namarupa, which is also called skandhas. Skandhas are same. Khandha in Pali, skandha in Hindi actually. So we will talk about the khandha, right? So actually the word khanda is understood in the sense of bulk, group, mass, or sensorial aggregates, which condition the appearance of life in any form. Buddha analyzes a living being into these five groups. In the suttas, he states whatever kind of materiality there is, whether past, future, or present, internal or external, gross or subtle, inferior or superior, far or near. This is called the materiality and all aggregates. So this what Buddha says. Actually, the word khanda can be like generally meaning is bulk, groups, mass, or sensorial aggregates. But what Buddha says about the aggregates, that whatever the materiality in the world, whether in the past, future, or present, internal or external, gross or subtle, inferior or superior, far or near, this is called the materiality, and these are all aggregates. So there are two kinds of reality, Nama and Rupa, which are called Panchakhandams. Actually, the Nama is the mental phenomena, which is Chitta and Chetasika. And Rupa is physical phenomena, which is our body. So when we talk about Nama and Rupa, actually we are talking about Chitta, Chetasika and Rupa. Consciousness, mental factor, and our materiality. Why they are together? Why Nama and Rupa are together? Why Chitta and Chetasika are together? Sorry, Chitta, Chetasika, and Rupa are together here. Because they are dependent on each other. Chitta and Chetasika cannot work without a body. They need a body to work. And also, if there is body, but the body does not have chitta and chetasika, then our body cannot work properly. Cannot work, I would not say properly, cannot work. It is like a dead body. You know, we have seen dead body. Dead body, they have a body. They have eyes, they have ears, they have the skin and everything they have, the dead body. But because it does not have chitta and chetasika, that's why we say it that it is dead. So, chitta and chetasika needs a body to work, and body needs chitta and chetasika also to work. They depend on each other and they have different functions also. Actually, whatever we are experiencing from our sense organs, from our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, whatever we are experiencing, these all are from chitta and chetasika, because body itself cannot experience anything. I just gave you an example of a dead body. If a person is dead, you can see that he does not have chitta and chetasika now. So his body cannot experience anything. If we touch him, he cannot experience anything. If his eyes are open and we show him something, he cannot see, he cannot hear, he cannot smell, because there is no chitta and chetasika. So actually, this is only a like cover, cover of chitta and chetasika. So this body, whatever we are seeing, our external body, it cannot experience anything. Whatever we are experiencing is only from the chitta and chetasika, or we can say nama. So there is note you can see. Nama experiences something, Rupa does not experience anything. Seeing is, for example, a type of Nama. It experiences visible object. Visible object itself is Rupa, right? If we are looking at a chair, so we are experiencing that chair is good or chair is bad, chair is red color, black color, whatever it, made of plastic, made of wood, whatever we are experiencing. But the chair is a visible object. Chair is like a rupa. It is a physical phenomena. The chair is not experiencing something. He is not having anything about us because it is physical phenomena. It does not have chitta and chetasika, right? So it cannot experience anything. So visible object itself is rupa. It does not experience anything. All phenomena in and around ourselves are only nama and rupa, which arise and fall away, and they are impermanent. We know that whatever we are experiencing, they all are impermanent, but it makes karma. The chitta and chetasika experience something, it makes karma, and then it will fall away. Nama and Rupa are absolute realities. In Pali, they are called Paramattha Dhammas. Chitta, Chetasika, and Rupa are called Paramattha Dhamma. So, whenever we are learning about the Chitta and Chetasika, it is Nama and Chitta and Chetasika is Nama and Rupa is Rupa. So, when we say Nama Rupa, you must understand it is Chitta, Chetasika, and Rupa. And Chitta and Chetasika experience something, but Rupa itself cannot experience anything. But Chitta and Chetasika needs a body to work on, so that's why they are dependent on each other. The Chitta and Chetasika, they experience something, but they cannot react as well. So who helps them to react? This body, like if we are getting angry, so the anger is in Chitta and Chetasika. Chitta and Chetasika experiencing anger, but they cannot react. So we react from our anger, we react from our body. Maybe we will hit someone because we are angry. Maybe we can use abusive words for someone because we are angry. So whatever we are uh, experiencing from Chitta and Chetasika, we are experiencing from Chitta and Chetasika, but they are helpless or they cannot react. So they need a body to react, to make karmas, right? So Nama is Chitta and Chetasika. We learned in the previous slide as well. So there are two kinds of conditioned Nama, Chitta and Chetasika. Chitta is consciousness and Chetasika is mental factors arising together with consciousness. They are namas because which arise because of conditions and then fall away again. And then there is a new word, aramana. Aramana. What is aramana actually? So, Pathvi is in Hindi actually. In India, we call it Prithvi. Prithvi is the solid part. So, in our body, we have many parts which are solid, like we have nails, we have teeth, we have hairs, we have the skin, and there are many other parts also. So there are altogether 20 parts which are solid in our body or which are the elements of earth or Prithvi. The second is Apo. Apo is actually liquid form which is water in our body. We have 12 elements of water in our body. What are those? Like I will give you an example of some, but we will read in detail about them in further classes. So for Apo, we have we have toilet. We go to toilet, that is liquid. We have sweat. We have um, we can say obesity. We have the oil in our oil on our skin. We have the tears. We have the we spit. So these all are the elements of water in our body. They all together are 12. The third is heat. Heat is tejo, the element of tejo or element of heat in our body. We have the temperature, right? Whenever we have the fever, the temperature increases. So this is the element of heat. Also, when we get angry, our temperature, our body becomes hot. Our um, breathing becomes hot. So these are the elements of heat or tejo. They all together are four. And then there are elements of vayu, that is wind or air. We have like respiration system. We have and we have also many types of gases in our body. So that is they are the elements of vayu. They are all together six. We will learn about them in detail in further classes, the Rupa. So altogether in our body, there are elements of Pathvi or elements of earth. There are elements of water. There are elements of heat. And there are elements of wind or air. That is Pathvi, Apo, Teju, and Vayu. And our Rupa, our body, is made of them. There is nothing else. There is no soul. Actually, our body is made of these four. And then we have in our body, we have Nama. Nama is Vedana. Vedana means sensation or feeling. We have Sanya. Sanya is perception. We have Sankhara, mental formation. And we have Vijnana, consciousness. So if we analyze our body, like if you do meditation and if you sit in meditation, you will realize that in our body, actually our body is made up of earth, water, heat and air elements. And then in this body, we have feelings, perception, mental formations and consciousness. And there is nothing more than that in our body. So there is no soul in our body, only Chitta and Chetasika in our body. Chitta and Chetasika needs our body to work, to react what Chitta and Chetasika is experiencing. So this is all our body is made up of. That is called Nama Rupa, or we can say Rupa Nama. So this is the same, the five aggregates, the Panchakhanda. Buddha says, Sabba Sangahe Panchakhanda, Rupa Khando, Vedana Khando, Sanya Khando, Sankhara Khando, and Vijnana Khando. You have the meaning also. And the Buddha's statement is, without directly knowing the whole, without fully understanding the whole, one is incapable of destroying suffering, which we have already learned in the previous slides, right? So this is the same Panch Upadana Khando, the five aggregates of clinging. Actually, you see in the previous slide, we have Pancha Skandha, and here we have Panch Upadana Skandha. What is the difference in between these two? Actually, the word upadan is extra here, and upadana means clinging. So, we are ordinary people. We have panch upadana skandha because we are clinging to these five aggregates. But when we say panchakhanda, there is no upadan, right? There is no clinging. So actually, Panchakhanda is for Arhantas, for Buddha, who have destroyed all their defilements, all the akusala, all the kusala, all the karmas are destroyed already, and they don't have any birth again. They will not take rebirth. So Panchakhanda, actually they have the rupa, right? The Arhantas are still alive. The Buddha, after he got enlightened, he was still alive. So he had rupa skandha. He had the body. He had the Vedana because he was getting sick sometimes. So he was having pain in his body, or sometimes some people tried to hurt him physically. So he got injured. So he had the feelings, he had the Vedana, he had the Sanya as well, he had the Sankhara, and he had the Vijnana consciousness as well. But he did not have Upadana Skandha. Upadana is the clinging. He was not clinging to all these five aggregates. But for our, this next slide says about ourselves, because we ordinary people, we are clinging to our five skandhas. So this is Panch Upadana Skandha. So this is the difference when we say Panchakhanda. Panchakhanda is only for the Buddha and for the Arhantas. But when we say Panch Upadana Skandha, it means that is for ourselves. That is for normally people because we are still clinging. We have Upadana from this for these Panchaskandhas, right? So this is all about the Panchaskandha, about the Nama and Rupa, and it is very important to know the Nama and Rupa, to Chitta, Chetasika and Rupa, to to uh, analyze them for experiencing anatta, or for experiencing no soul, no self. It will help you to eradicate, to be free from your sufferings. So, actually, what are we clinging to? The subjects of clinging. There are four subjects of clinging, or Chattara Upadana. The first is Kama Upadana, clinging to sense pleasures. The second is Ditti Upadana, clinging to wrong views. The third is Silabata Upadana, clinging to rites and ceremonies. The fourth is Attavada Upadana, clinging to a doctrine of self. Actually, there are many people, different kinds of people, and they are clinging to different kinds of subjects. Some people are clinging to sense pleasures, whatever they like if they like the touch of someone, if they like to see someone, if they like to hear some sound, they are clinging to that. If they don't get those sounds, if they don't get those persons to see, or if they don't get that touch, and then they become angry, they become restless. So they are clinging to sense pleasures. Then there are many people who are clinging to wrong views. At Buddha's time also there were many ascetics who were clinging to wrong views. They had the wrong views. Like some people believe that there was no previous birth. Some people believe that there is no future birth. Some people have different views about previous birth and future birth as well. So they have the wrong views and they are clinging to to those wrong views. They don't want to understand the Nama and Rupa. They don't want to understand the Chitta and Chetasika and Rupa. And they don't want to get to Nibbana, actually. They don't want to get rid of this cycle, life cycle. So they are clinging to those wrong views. So the person who are clinging to their wrong views are called is called Ditthi Upadana. Then there are people who are clinging to rites and ceremonies. We have lots of people, right? Uh, for like in Buddha's time also, there were many people who used to do very hard ceremonies or very hard rituals. Like sometimes the people had wrong views about clinging to rites and rituals. Like they used to stand in water for many hours. They used to sit in heat for many hours, and there are many people in the world nowadays also. There are Buddhist people, there are Hindu people, there are Muslims, there are Christians, and they all have their different rites and ceremonies. And they believe that because of those rites and ceremonies, all will go well. But if we don't perform those ceremonies, if we don't perform those rituals or those rites, then something wrong will happen, something bad will happen with us. So they are clinging to those rites and ceremonies. Actually, this is also not good. This is sila bata upadana, because no rites, no ritual, no ceremonies can help you to get rid of suffering. Actually, so if people are thinking that by performing some ritual, by performing some ceremonies or some rites, they will be free from their suffering, then it cannot happen. So this is also a subject of clinging. And then there are many people who have a good body, a good face, fair skin, good hairs. So they are attavada upadana. They are clinging to a doctrine of self. Oh, I am beautiful. I am looking handsome. I have beautiful hair. I have a beautiful face. So they are clinging to a doctrine of self. So these are the four subjects of clinging to which people are clinging nowadays. So just experience it for yourself and uh, try to experience and try to realize which kind of subject you are clinging to. So we will know that and we can try to eradicate that, because clinging from these five khandhas is not good for us. If we are clinging continuously to these five skandhas, then we are like sick people, as Buddha has told. So we need to cure our sickness as soon as possible. For that, we need to understand these five khandhas better. We need to analyze these five khandhas better, and we should try to get rid of this clinginess from these five khandhas. Okay, so that is enough for this session. We will meet you in the next session. Uh, I know that I'm not taking the class continuously. We missed last three classes, and this is also a recorded class. I will try to join you live for the next class. I will try my best to join you live so that I can have your questions also. Kindly write your questions if you have some. Note down them, and we will discuss them in our later classes. Okay. Sadhu, 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 anumodami. Now I will give you the blessings. Kindly join your hands. Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sabbitiyo vivachantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavantantarayo sukhi dighayo bhava bhavatu sabbamangalang rakhantu sabbadevatan sabbabudhanubhavena sada soti bhavantu te भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वधर्मानुभावेन सदा सोति भवन्तु ते भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वसङ्घानुभावेन सदा सोति भवन्तु ते साधु साधु साधु. May you be free from all sufferings and pains. May you understand the Four Noble Truths as soon as possible in this very life. May you go a step ahead to understand the Noble Eightfold Path and experience the Nibbana in this very life. I bless you all with triple gems. Stay awakened, stay mindful, and keep learning Dhamma and Abhidhamma as well. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, there is a new word, aramana. Aramana is what, as regards chitta, chitta knows or experiences an object. Each chitta must have its object of knowing. In Pali, it is called aramana. The chitta which sees has what is visible as its object. The chitta which hears, hearing consciousness, has sound as its object. For a chitta to arise, we need something, some object. Like if we are looking from our eyes and to a physical phenomena or maybe to a rupa, then a chitta will arise. But if there is no rupa outside, then our eyes cannot see anything. And if our eyes cannot see anything, then there will be no chitta arising and there will be no karma forming. So, whatever the objects we have for our sense organs to realize, to feel, to experience, to give experience for the chitta, so that object actually it is called aramana. So as regards chitta, chitta knows or experiences an object, and that object is called aramana. If there is a visible object, that will be our aramana for eyes. If there is hearing object, sound as object, then sound will be our aramana for our ears. So there is not any chitta without an object, because if there is no object, if there is no aramana, no chitta can arise. Even when we are sound asleep, chitta experiences some object. If we are sleeping even, then also the chitta experiencing some object, because it is like whatever it has collected in the whole day, it will experience all those things. Maybe we have seen something in the whole day, and maybe we have heard something, so it will experience all those things when we are sleeping. So at that time also we have aramanas, and the chitta is also working, chitta is also experiencing something. So now we will know the difference between the Nama and Rupa, there is like not much difference actually. Nama, hearing is Nama, it has no form or shape. Hearing is different from ear sense, but it has ear sense as a necessary condition. The Nama, which hears, experiences sound. So we just knew that hearing, whatever we are hearing, whatever the sounds we hear, it is called aramana, but we are hearing from our ears, right? So ear is also necessary, hearing is also necessary, and the aramana is also necessary for a chitta to arise. So hearing has no form or shape. Hearing is different from ear sense, but it has ear sense as a necessary condition, because if we don't have ears, then we cannot hear anything. So you see, there are many things which we can differentiate now, that ear is a different thing, hearing is different thing, sound is different, and the arising of chitta is different. Maybe we can like that sound, maybe we will not like that sound. That is chitta. So the sound is aramana, the hearing is nama, the ear we have called ear consciousness. We call it um, sota vinyana. In Pali, we call it sota vinyana. So that is ear consciousness, and then we have the chitta arising. For rupa also, ear sense and sound are rupas here, because sound is also rupa, and ear we have, that is also rupa, which do not experience anything. They are entirely different from the nama which hears. So we have three things outside and one thing inside. The inside is chitta, and outside we have sound, we have hearing, and we have ear sense. So hearing is nama only, but sound and ear sense, they are called rupa. For if we do not learn that hearing, ear sense, and sound are realities which are altogether different from each other, we will continue to think that it is self which hears. So you see, there are three things, and we should know the difference between them. If we don't study about them, and if we don't know the difference about them, that they are different from each other, then we will continue to think that it is self which hears, like we are hearing. No, ear sense is hearing actually, and uh, listening actually, and the hearing is the process. Hearing is the process, that is the nama, which we cannot see. It does not have a sound, it does not have a form or shape. But our ear is rupa, because we can see that it has a particular shape. And the sound is also rupa, because when we play the music, the musicians, they have particular symbolic language, we say. The music, I don't know what do we call them. I'm just not remembering the word actually. So those, the words, they have symbolic words, right? For the sound, for the music, that is also rupa. So ear sense and rupa, and sound are rupa, but hearing is nama. And this applies the same for eyes, for nose, for tongue, for skin, for every sense organ. Like if we talk about our eyes, then our eyes is rupa. We have eye sense, or we say eye consciousness. That is rupa. For that, we should have an object. Like if we have a chair in front of us, then the chair is aramana. It has a form, it has a shape. Our eyes also has a shape. But the seeing, we are looking at the chair. So the process, the seeing, it is called the nama, which does not have a form or shape. But there are three things: eye consciousness, seeing process, and the rupa, and the chair, or maybe any object. And then only the chitta arises, and which we can, if we like the chair, then we will be happy. Or if we don't like the chair, we will be unhappy. So that happiness or unhappiness is arising in our chitta. So this is the difference between the nama and rupa. For our sense organ, how does a chitta arises? This is we can know from the nama and rupa. So move further. There are many similarities also between nama and rupa. Nama has no efficient power. It cannot occur by its own efficient power. I told you before also that nama means chitta and chetasika. It needs a rupa to work. It does not eat. Actually, the nama cannot eat. It does not drink. It does not speak. It does not adopt postures. This is only rupa, which eats, drink, speak, or adopt postures. And Rupa has efficient power, but it cannot occur by its own efficient power, for it has no desire to eat. Because if Rupa has no Chitta and Chetasika, like if we talk about any non-living things, they don't have Chitta and Chetasika. So they don't have desire to eat, desire to drink, desire to do things, whatever the things we do in our daily life, because they don't have Chitta and Chetasika. So Rupa, it has efficient power, but it cannot work by its own efficient power, because the Rupa itself has no desire to do anything. It has no greed, it has no hatred. It is only the Chitta and Chetasika for the Rupa who which arises the greed, hatred, and different things in our Rupa. But rather, it is when supported by Rupa that Nama occurs, and it is when supported by the Nama that Rupa occurs. So they are dependent on each other. When Nama has the desire to eat, the desire to drink, the desire to speak, the desire to adopt a posture, it is Rupa that eats, drinks, speaks, and adopts a posture. Let us learn this from an example. Just as men depend upon a boat for traveling the sea, for traversing the sea, so does the mental body need the matter body for occurrence. The mental body is nama, that is chitta and chetasika, and the matter body is our rupa, the body. And just as boat depends on the man for traversing the sea, so does the mattered body need the mental body for occurrence. Depending each upon the other, the boat and the man go on the sea. So do mind and matter both depend the one upon the other. If we need to cross the sea, traverse the sea, we need a boat. But the boat cannot go by itself. It needs a man. So they are depend on each other. Same as the matter body and the material body, mental body, they depend on each other. So here, Panchaskandha, 5 aggregates in human, there is Rupa and there is Nama. Rupa is Pathvi, Apo, Tejo and Vayu. You will learn about it when we in the further classes. So actually Pathvi is the solid part of our body. Like we have the teeth, strong, solid. We have the hairs, we have the nails, we have the skin. So there are many things in our body which are solid.